I'm about to show you a restaurant that literally kills its customers. I wish I was kidding. In this video, you'll see how a single McDonald's racked up 843 police calls in just 1 year. How a Chinese buffet was banned for hundreds of health code violations, and every other dangerous restaurant in between. All the way down to the pizzeria on top of an active volcano at level 1. Yeah, this is Pacaya Volcano, one of Guatemala's most active volcanoes, which, for some reason, is also where someone decided to open a damn pizza restaurant. And I know that sounds crazy, but ever since the 2021 eruption, Chef Mario made it his mission to cook the most dangerous pizza on the planet. So he went to work, slapping on his heat-proof gloves, yellow protective goggles, and every morning at 5 a.m., he packs his pans and pizza dough, loads up his ATV, and heads straight to the top of the volcano to serve the hottest pizza known to man. And at first, tourists were terrified. I mean, with lava temperatures reaching nearly 2,000 Fahrenheit, I'm already not trying to go anywhere near that thing, let alone eat on one. But even that's still nowhere near as dangerous as the restaurants coming up. Cause what if I told you there's a place that serves chicken wings so spicy, they nearly killed someone? Yeah. See, in Sarasota, Florida, there's an infamous hole-in-the-wall restaurant called Munchie's 420 Cafe. But what it's really known for is the Fire in Your Hole Challenge. I'm talking 10 ghost pepper wings, 20 minutes on the clock, and heat from hell itself. In fact, attempting this is so dangerous, they even make you sign a waiver before your first bite. Because not only are these peppers the hottest in the world, hitting over 1 million Scoville units, but they're also the same ingredient used in pepper spray and police grenades. And not only that, but the level of heat can cause severe burns, fainting, trouble breathing, and in some cases, cardiac arrest. Yeah, so as you can imagine, almost everyone who takes this challenge ends up cooked. I mean, even dudes who do this for a living found out the hard way. Cause on Man vs. Food, Adam Richman thought he had it in the bag. But one bite in, and bro realized he just made the biggest mistake of his life.
I was so jacked up in the bathroom of the place that my tongue had swollen, my nasal passages had swollen. This is not to be trifled with.
Jesus Christ! You couldn't pay me to eat that! And no amount of money could get me to eat this next meal. Cause for some strange reason, people in Japan have an obsession with the world's most poisonous dish. Yeah. See, this place is serving up something so deadly, one wrong cut in the kitchen could be your last. I'm talking about the puffer fish. AKA fugu.
The FDA has identified the pufferfish species that killed 1 and sickened 8 others in Nantou last month, which is so toxic that just 1 or 2 slices of its meat can be fatal.
No joke, it's loaded with a poison so strong it can shut down your nervous system in seconds. And not only is it 1,200 times more lethal than cyanide, but one fish alone contains enough toxins to kill 30 people. Well, damn, that's not very nice. In fact, fugu's responsible for more than 50,000 poisonings and 6 deaths every single year. And that's why to even be allowed to serve this thing, chefs have to train for years, passing brutal exams, knife tests, and even taste trials, all just to earn a government license that proves they won't accidentally kill you. That's insane. But speaking of setbacks, if you're not careful chowing down here, there's a good chance you'll lose a limb. See, in Hanoi, there's a bunch of restaurants located in the most ridiculous place possible. Yeah, sitting literally inches away from a goddamn runaway freight train. And surprisingly, this was actually a good decision, because it ended up attracting tons of tourists from all over the world. So for the local restaurants, this was a huge W. I mean, customers came for the food, but stayed for the near-death experience. But eventually, it all came crashing down. Because fast forward to 2022, and things had gotten out of hand. Tourists were acting reckless, influencers were getting way too close to the tracks, and it looked like people wanted to take a one-way train ride to heaven. So after seeing stunts like these, the city of Hanoi had no other choice but to shut down the train street for good. And it's been off limits ever since. Man, you'd think people would want to be more careful, but instead, we've got places like this, the most dangerous McDonald's in the world.
The fast food restaurant is ranked second in the capital in most calls for police. In 2018, police received more than 843 calls, a stark increase from the 647 in 2014.
Yeah, This is Rideau Street, Ottawa, a McDonald's that's built a reputation so bad, it was basically a war zone. And in 2023, after more than 40 years of service, it all came to an end. And it wasn't over some moldy fries or bad burgers. Nah, this place was putting people's lives in danger. You see, between 2014 and 2018, there were over 4,000 crimes committed at this single spot. That's more than 1,000 a year. I'm talking massive brawls, naughty rizzings in the bathroom. Hell, they even arrested people for not being subscribed to the channel. Yeah! It was ridiculous. But in 2018, one moment changed everything and turned this place into a global headline. Wait a minute. Run that clip back. Was that a raccoon? I thought they still trash, not fight it. So after the video racked up millions of views, people online went nuts. News outlets started trashing it, saying they needed to pull it together or close down. I mean, things got so out of control that the Ottawa police chief literally begged the McDonald's president for help. Until finally, they officially decided to pull the plug and shut the place down for good, restoring peace to the city, with locals coming together for one final farewell. But look, what if I told you there's one dangerous restaurant that will never close? Yeah, I know that sounds pretty weird, but Waffle House isn't your ordinary restaurant. Let me explain. See, if you've never heard of it, it's a southern restaurant chain in America, famous for their delicious food, friendly staff, and violent crime.
With breaking news tonight, a shocking scene at a Waffle House.
The 24-hour chain and its huge yellow signs have become infamous for rowdy late-night crowds and all-out brawls.
A Waffle House worker says she is scared to go back to work after a gunman carjacked her on her break.
Caught on video, a Waffle House customer attacked by two men.
All these different people getting arrested at a Waffle House.
A big brawl breaks out at a popular local restaurant.
Holy crap! And when you combine the fact that most Waffle Houses are in high crime areas and stay open 24/7, it's no surprise that one location in Indiana was robbed 4 times in 3 months. But this is where things get freaky. Because remember when I said they never close? Well, the US government literally made a scale based on that called the Waffle House Index. And it's actually used to measure how bad a disaster really is. Meaning, if a Waffle House ever does close down, those people are probably in deep. And look, never closing doors is one level of crazy, but it gets way more twisted than that, because one China buffet thankfully did shut down, after racking up more health violations than any other restaurant in history. See, in 2016, health inspectors started hearing rumors about a Florida restaurant going viral for all the wrong reasons.
It's fish on the floor.
Yeah, I'm talking meat lying on the floor, dirty utensils, and multiple cases of food poisoning. So when they finally showed up to investigate, it was somehow even worse than they imagined. I mean, this nightmare of an establishment was crawling with cockroaches. The kitchen was covered in mold, and some employees apparently hadn't even washed their hands all day. How they figured that out, I genuinely don't want to know. But that was only the beginning, because after hours of searching the premises, inspectors found a live rat in the kitchen, animal feces all over the floor, and an insane 110 health code violations. 110! Jesus! So immediately after making that discovery, inspectors obviously had to shut China Buffet down. But just like the cockroaches, China Buffet wasn't going anywhere. They'd reopen and close multiple times for 9 years straight, and each time, they managed to rack up even more violations. So eventually, after multiple failed rebrands and 546 health violations later, a reporter finally showed up to see what was really going on. But China Buffet had different plans.
I want to talk to somebody about the inspection.
You can't touch the camera. That's assault. That's assault. That's assault. Hey! Hey!
God damn! This man served up a knuckle sandwich! But this restaurant is serving up something even better, because every single chef here is a convicted criminal, and anyone can eat here. This is San Pedro in Bolivia. And yeah, it looks like any ordinary prison, but don't judge a compound by its cover, because behind these 18-foot high walls is a community so off limits, even the prison guards want no part of it. So as a result, it's got no security, no cell numbers, no rules, and has the highest mortality rate of any prison, with over 4 deaths per month. I mean, this place has dangerous written all over it. And since the Bolivian government doesn't feed its prisoners, the inmates got creative and started their very own prison restaurants. You see, up until 2009, regular people could actually visit San Pedro, Yeah, they could literally buy a tour run by inmates, stop at inmate-run restaurants, and have sit-down meals with inmates. But after crime in San Pedro became too much to handle, the Bolivian government stepped in and shut the gates for good. But look, I think it's time we talk about the notorious restaurant that actually makes money from killing its customers.
I'm dying.
Yeah. This is the Heart Attack Grill, a hospital-themed diner in Las Vegas where the waitresses dress as nurses and every menu item is named after a medical emergency. But the real reason this diner is successful is disturbing. Meet John Basso, a former fitness coach who spent years trying to get people in shape. But after realizing nobody was actually willing to follow his advice, the dude had enough and decided to give the people what they really wanted. Food that went against everything he ever taught. Because at the Heart Attack Grill, they don't just serve cheeseburgers. They serve octuple bypass burgers, stacked 8 patties high, deep fried in pure lard, and topped with bacon and butter for good measure. And if you weigh over 350 pounds, you eat for free. Yeah, but this is where things get crazy. Because people didn't just come close to dying. They actually did multiple times. You see, between 2011 and 2013, 2 customers actually died in connection to this place, including 52-year-old regular John Alleyman, who collapsed on a sidewalk right outside just minutes after finishing his meal. And instead of changing anything, John doubled down by literally putting the ashes of that customer inside the restaurant as a warning and bragged about it on camera.
Death is great for business at the Heart Attack Grill.
We're past the point of no return at the Heart Attack Grill. We have blood on our hands at this point.
Now that's crazy. But it gets even more twisted than that, because the deadlier the Heart Attack Grill got, the more viral it became. Like, people were literally flying in from across the world just to risk their life for a burger. And some of them sadly never made it back home. Damn, talk about a life-changing experience. But the people going down these slides found that out the hard way. From a water slide that decapitated someone, to one that got shut down just hours after opening. It's insane these things even passed testing. Look, if you want to hear more, you need to click on this video right here. These are the world's most dangerous slides. Trust me, it's a banger.